There is no avoiding the fact the country is divided along partisan lines. It continues to be the epicenter of stalemates at all levels of power, and that definitely holds true in the federal government. Republicans control the White House and the Senate. Democrats control the House of Representatives. The latest fight that could go nowhere will surround the budget submitted by President Donald Trump. It reaches a record high in spending. It calls for more than $4.8 trillion in spending, while only expecting to generate close to $3.9 trillion in revenue. That's a $966 billion deficit for 1 year alone. Some notable spending increases to Homeland Security, Defense, Veterans Affairs, and the border wall by transferring money from the Pentagon. Among the cuts, Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, the EPA, and the Department of Education. There is a bipartisan measure in the works that would check the president's military power, at least in theory. Legislation to limit President Trump's ability to use the country's military might against Iran is in the House of Representatives. It's expected to pass there after a non-binding resolution already cleared the House. So this actually already made it through the Senate after 8 Republicans joined Democrats. These restrictions on the president come after the back-and-forth airstrikes with Iran earlier this year. One U.S. attack killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in Iraq. The U.S. insists it will not let Iran obtain a nuclear bomb. There is certainly a lot at stake in the federal government these days. One man in the middle of it joins us for a conversation this morning. We welcome Iowa Congressman Dave Lobzak back to the program. Good to see you again, sir.
As always, thanks, Jim.
So let's talk budget first. Are those cuts to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid a non-starter in the House? And could this lead to a government shutdown?
I think they're dead on arrival. There's no question. The president's budget, since he's been in office, has basically been a Tea Party budget. Mick Mulvaney was the head of the Office of Management and Budget for the first couple of years. It's still effectively, I think, under his control, even though he's now the acting chief of staff. He's one of the founders of the Tea Party movement, the Freedom Caucus, and he's the one who's been writing the budgets. And they're non-starters. We have not really paid particular attention. Republicans haven't even paid particular attention to those budgets. I think it'll come down in the end to doing the same thing that we've done in the past, probably going past the September 30th budget deadline, unfortunately, appropriations deadline. But I'm pretty confident that the cuts the president are calling for are not going to happen.
Because even Republicans have shied away from those cuts so far.
Oh, definitely. There's no question about that.
Do you think there is a possible brinksmanship here, again, that could threaten a shutdown?
I certainly hope not. It would be ideal if we could get this finished before the election, because obviously after the election, in the event that President Trump is not reelected, that could provide him a lot of incentive for a lot of mischief. I hope that doesn't happen. We've got to have stability. We've got to have certainty when it comes to this budget and all these programs that we have to fund for so many folks, for our military, but also for seniors who are on Medicare and on Social Security. We can't let those programs be threatened by these budget cuts.
I mentioned Congress is poised to try to rein in the president's war powers regarding Iran specifically. It is up to the House to adopt the Senate measure. That, I guess, would seem likely with Democrats in control. How much do you expect the president to obey Congress if that happened, when he wouldn't even comply with requests during the impeachment inquiry?
Well, I think we have to ask that question more generally about the president. How much is he willing really to obey anyone at this point other than himself and go by his own impulses, whatever those may be, on any number of fronts? But I will say that we have bipartisan concern about his war powers. You know, we actually had bipartisan concern about President Obama as well. I was one of a few dozen who tried to intervene when it came to the Libya intervention, because I was concerned about the president. I was concerned about what President Obama did in Syria as well, under what he thought was an authorization for the use of military force that allowed him to do that, but I wasn't sure that was the case. So many of us have questioned a president's authority, no matter which party that president is a member of, and certainly in the case of President Trump, I think we've got bipartisan concern about his use of the war powers.
That bipartisanship is limited, then, when we only talk about 8 Republicans in the Senate switching parties there. Across
By the way,
lines.
8 nowadays
is a lot. That's a huge
significantly
amount. Sure.
Large, yes.
What about the goal with Iran, though? Should any new agreement with Iran be tougher than the nuclear deal and include its ballistic missile program? And are you okay with the tougher sanctions already imposed by the president?
Well, the original agreement, I thought, was a very good agreement. It was, in fact, limiting the Iranians and their ability to develop a nuclear weapon.
Nuclear, but not the short-range, mid-range ballistic
That was
missiles.
never part of what the negotiations included in the first place. Now, would I like to see a side agreement or a different agreement on that, or their activities in the region? Clearly, because they are the #1 terrorist-sponsored state in the region. So clearly, they're a bad actor. They've done terrible things. I have seen the effects of that when I've visited our troops at the height of the Iraq War, when I was on the Armed Services Committee, and the projectiles that they would send to Iraq that could penetrate tanks and could kill our troops. They're bad actors, but we were not able to do everything that we want to do in one agreement. Quite honestly, I think the president pulling out of the agreement having to do with nuclear weapons was a terrible mistake for him. It was a terrible mistake for our country because now the Iranians are feeling relatively free to go ahead and develop a nuclear
Are you okay
weapon.
with those tougher sanctions that he's already imposed?
No, I'm in favor of sanctions. There's no question about that. I voted for sanctions in the past. At the same time, we shouldn't have gotten out of this agreement. I think we've got to get back into it.
Now, some of the so-called rising stars in the Democratic Party take some controversial stances. For example, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar criticizes those new sanctions on Iran, but yet she wants them for Israel, one of the United States' strongest allies. Do you agree with her? And are the Democrats at risk of being taken over by a more extreme wing of the party?
You know, what I have to say about folks like Ilhan or Ocasio-Cortez is they have their districts to represent. I have my district to represent. And anyone who tries to tell me what to do in my district, I think would be a mistake because I'm not going to try to tell them what to do in their district.
But do you agree with that position?
I think we have to be very careful, especially when it comes to the Middle East. I do think we have to have an approach to the Middle East that does recognize Israel's right to exist, but also the Palestinians' right to exist. We have to have a two-state solution. I think when the president when he, for example, moved our embassy to Jerusalem, I think that was the wrong thing to do. I think he took sides in that case. And so I think that there are some who go too far on one side and some who go too far on the other side. I don't think we have a really productive approach right now.
But her position was opposing new sanctions on Iran, but adding sanctions to Israel.
Right. I think we have to be careful about that when it comes to Israel because they are an ally. But we do also have to make sure that the Israelis are not going beyond where they should be going when it comes to annexation of territory. We shouldn't be recognizing that. We certainly shouldn't have put our embassy, we shouldn't be moving that to Jerusalem.
We have more time with Congressman Dave Lobzak coming up. Last hurrah, what the congressman says about leaving the halls of power on Capitol Hill. For the record.